I grew up in Manchester, in a suburb of Manchester near the airport. And yeah, languages, well, obviously English being the first and foremost, because I went to school here. And then my parents were both from the Indian subcontinent, so they spoke Urdu at home. So hence I am bilingual. I spoke Urdu at home and English at school and away from the home environment. My father spoke Gujarati as well. It's not a language I can speak, but I understand it. Yeah, and I was exposed to Punjabi, which is also a dialect spoken in the Indian subcontinent. Once again, I understand a lot, but I can't speak it fluently. I speak Urdu fluently and I speak English fluently. So I guess that's about it. Yeah, I obviously use English, but I also use Urdu. It's quite it's necessary for the work that I'm in. I interact a lot with people from the Indian subcontinent, and it helps that I speak to them and converse with them in Urdu. They feel more comfortable when I do that, and and in business I think it's definitely a plus. When you can speak to your customer or supplier in a language of their choice. So yes, I can, in that sense, it's quite beneficial. I was having this discussion with my wife, and I think language is very much related to culture, and you have more of a cultural understanding if you know the language. And I feel that is the case with Urdu. It gives me more of an insight into my culture than I would have had I not known the language. So yes, I think that it's quite advantageous in that sense. My wife is an Arabic speaker, so I hear her conversing in Arabic quite a lot. And also a lot of my customers are from the Middle East. And I hear them speaking in different dialects of Arabic, Palestinian, Egyptian, Syrian. So yes, and it's quite interesting to now understand after so many years the differences in the dialects, which I wouldn't have been able to do, prior to being in business and prior to being married. So yeah, it's very interesting, and I'm so happy that we live where we live, and we are exposed to so many different languages and cultures. Of the children, not so much. I think they can understand Arabic, and obviously they speak English. I think as far as Urdu is concerned, no, it's not a language that I speak at home, and they hear me speaking in the language, to my mother, their grandmother, and to customers and suppliers when I'm on the phone. But they, for them it just flies above their head. They think, Dad is speaking in tongues. They're not familiar with it.